Hi and welcome back. In this video, we're going to delve into the answer to the question, how to start a homeschool co-op for success. Homeschool co-ops are bringing together like-minded families to form your own school, but you're all sharing in the opportunity to school your own children and the children of the others in the co-op. So we'll delve into the answer to that question next. The first part of this video, we're going to be talking about crafting your vision, your goals, your objectives, what is the purpose, what are you going to stand for as a co-op. Second part, we're going to be talking about all the logistical steps and what needs to happen legally and business-wise and all those kind of things that need to come together to make sure everything's on the up and up. Third, we're going to be talking about the incredible importance of, you guessed it, developing the right mindset, not only for the people involved as adults, but how you're going to then help train that for your students. And lastly, or fourth, we're going to take a look at how to utilize community and how to create a community of learners in this co-op and reach out to like-minded people in the community at large. And of course, last, we want to look at a family that did just this. So this whole idea behind forming a co-op is you want to bring families together. To do this and to make sure you're all on the same page, you really got to have a vision. So if you are the one who's thinking about doing this, and maybe you've got one or two other families that would be interested, at least those, there's at least 3 of you guys. If you're going to be the leaders of this, you really got to think about what's going to be the ultimate purpose, what's going to be your values, your mission statement, what do you stand for. You need to articulate that. You want a list of values. You want a list of, this is our mission, this is what we stand for, this is our vision. And you want to have that clearly stated, put somewhere that you can give out to others. You can showcase it, right? I have that for my own business, right? It's on a page that people can see on my website. That is the very first step that you're going to need to really kind of do. And if it's just you, then you're going to take that to try to find other people. If it's you and you have a couple other families going to help you develop this co-op, then you kind of need to work on that together to craft that and shape that. So the next step after you kind of got that vision, all that taken care of is, one, you guys really need to think about your own mindset as leaders, because there's got to be an organizational structure. There needs to be leadership and defined roles and responsibilities. You want to be thinking about each aspect as you are running a school. It might be a small school, but you are essentially running a school. So you want to have all your I's dotted and T's crossed on protocols and procedures and who's in charge of what pieces and what components and how that's going to be all handled. Everything from discipline to curriculum to funding to managing the finances. All of those pieces need to be clearly lined out, clearly delineated on roles, responsibility, who's doing what each position's role is, and it needs to be down in writing. Now, of course, as the Champions Mindset mentor, I can't let anything education-oriented go without talking about this idea of developing mindset. And not only as leaders do you guys need to kind of have a growth mindset and leadership mindset, and mindset as a champion, because you are setting the tone for the whole culture and climate of this homeschool co-op, but you also want to be seriously thinking and considering how you're going to help develop the right mindset in your students. And it's much more than just an academic mindset. It's much more than just a mindset around learning, which is, of course, vital, right? They're in school, and it's school at this point is academics. But really helping a child be prepared for life beyond high school, whether that is going into college or trade school or right into the business world or work world, whatever direction that is, ultimately, their mindset is going to guide all their decisions. It's going to guide their ability to deal with the storms of life. It's going to guide every aspect of that. Their mindset is going to have more of a factor in their success than just about anything else. And to give some examples is, I know somebody who went to a top Ivy League school, somebody went to the local university. And the person who went to the local university has done more with their life financially, family-wise, relationship-wise. Their happiness level is far superior to the individual I'm thinking of who went to an Ivy League school, who has struggled with all kinds of issues, even though they're highly educated and very bright, but they've had a hard time professionally and personally in their life. So any organization is people-oriented. An organization, by definition, has a number of people part of it. And the success of that organization can be directly linked to the success of the ability of the people within the organization to function together well. And that functionality does not necessarily mean that they all become best friends and all of that stuff. But they do need to have very positive working relationships, or the culture and climate is such that things don't go well. And when you want to recruit other people to come into this co-op to enrich and add to the whole learning opportunity for everybody, you want to make sure you're bringing people in who will kind of blend into that, bring their own uniqueness to that, but will be able to also blend into the existing climate and culture so it stays strong and functioning. This whole idea that is thrown out a lot about community, well, it is very important to have a very effective learning environment for the children who are going to be part of this co-op. And when you can build that culture and that climate, the recruiting aspect just becomes that much easier, because people, when they first visit, can sense it. I've got to say a real quick story. Before I got into education, I was substitute teaching, so I had a chance to go into buildings all around the city where I was living, and you could just walk into a building and feel the difference from one school to another and tell whether that school was having a lot of troubles with their student population or whether it was running smoothly and well. The climate and culture says enormous. A real life example, we're going to talk about Classical Conversations, which is a co-op that's nationwide, so you can be anywhere in the country and become part of this organization. They did all those steps that we've talked about. They have their systems in place. They have their mission statement, their values. They've created a climate around learning and belief around learning that attracts like-minded people. Their whole background is really very traditional and classical in the sense of classical education, meaning you teach, it's called the triumvirate, but you teach grammar, logic, and rhetoric. There is a whole lot of research about the value of those particular components. But ultimately, this little co-op is spread. It's nationwide, right? So a co-op does not need to be just in your immediate town community. When you build an organizational structure with your vision statement and goals and values and systems in place and attract like-minded people, particularly in this modern world, you have lots of options available for nationwide co-ops. I invite you to subscribe to our channel, check out all our other videos. You might even want to check out our podcasts. If you subscribe to my channel, you can find my podcasts as well. You might want to check those out. But also, you might want to check out the video, Do Homeschoolers Get a Diploma or GED? Check that video out today.